Did I decide to stop having and taking care of girls and relationships because I saw all the girls bullshit and just said, fuck it, I'm gonna focus on myself? In part. So, the thing about me is that I've always wanted people to like me for me, right? And when I found like my first girlfriend, whatever, I thought I found someone who liked me for me, right? And then when she left, I was almost like, well, if she's gonna leave, then who were the people that always stayed, right? No matter how bad things got, no matter, let's say, how insecure I felt, no matter how like shitty things went. And I realized it was always my viewers, right? Like always the people who watched me. So when I realized that, that's when I just said, you know what? Let me just full commit to this. Let me just full commit to like streaming and everything. And like just say fuck relationships, right? Because the thing is, when you're in a relationship, since there's this like added dynamic of in the future you could take care of this person, it's almost like maybe they're not being 100% real with you. Maybe they're only talking to you because they think that you can take care of them, right? But with streaming, it's like people are only going to watch you because they're entertained by you, right? Whether they like you or they hate you. So it's like there's no one's going to watch you because they think you're boring, right? So it's almost like there's no risk with streaming. You know what I mean? And the thing about me is like I'm tired of just putting my hands in the hands of like or my fate in like the hands of fucking like God and just being like, all right, let this person be having true intentions. So then I decide to just say fuck it, and I don't give people the opportunity to like prove whether or not their intentions are true because I just like focus on what I know is like permanence, you know. Do you think your viewer count is dwindling a bit because Hecarim isn't too viable anymore? Because I'm sure a lot of people watch you for your extreme Hecarim knowledge, but now that it's not that good, the real ones who are staying for your percentage and enjoy watching your stream, all the people who just came in for Hecarim left. So Bluey, I talk about this a lot. I think it's a few things. So, there was the name change that killed my growth because now people don't recognize the name Doobly Purple, so they just don't click on the stream, right? So it's the name Doobly Purple, and then it's also the fact that yeah, Hecarim is in a worse state now, which means that obviously, right, less people are trying to learn him, and since less people are trying to learn him, then they don't need to watch me, right? And then there's also the fact that I was going through this like I guess depressive state because of everything that seemed like really bad, and I kind of like lost my energy over the last few months, and I think that was the main thing. But the good news is that now I'm getting my energy back, so it should be like really, really, really good soon, if that makes sense. But it was a combination of those three for sure. I came with the Hecarim gameplay, now my whole life perspective has been completely changed. Well, so that's the thing, it's like at the end of the day, right? You guys have to keep in mind that I'm just a 20-year-old guy, right? That had some life experience, but it's like I'm not I don't sit here and think like I know everything about everything, right? So always keep that in the back of your mind where it's like you can hear what I'm saying and maybe it resonates with you, maybe you're like, I want to like use that thought process, right? But you don't feel like you have to because you think I know more because there's a good chance that some of you know more than I do, right? So that's why it's like you can sit there and you can feel inspired by my way of thinking, but don't just like copy it because you think like, oh, if that's how he thinks, then I'll do it too, right? It's like you always want to think for yourself and be like, use your own experiences, and then if you're like, oh, you know what, maybe he's right, then you can start like actually investing in yourself. College taking time away from friends, and the only time I can chat with them is like gym hours, but grind comes first. Sucks big time. Any thoughts plus pressure from my class also not fun? Then don't. So like this is the other thing too. If you're like on your grind and shit like that, right? Then you have to understand that's like that comes first, right? So if that means that you're gonna be there and you don't have time to talk to girls anymore, then don't. It's like it should not be a part of your daily routine to talk to people ever. That should just be something to do if like you have nothing else to do. Are you down for ARM on US or are you done with League for today? I'm done for today. I'm real with you. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pack with you guys. I'll probably just like call it. If you use Tinder, just don't charge. Yeah, like Tinder. When I would use Tinder back in the day, I would never like use it to actually meet up with people. I would just use it to be like, oh, like this person is like into me, and then I would just be like, okay, cool. I've been doing really well at my job and getting promoted to management at 20. I don't have much time to talk to people or hang out with friends anymore. Advice? Keep doing what you're doing, honestly. What if I told you I'm in the same exact position as you are, Glorb? Literally, right? It's like you're there and now you become a bigger streamer, right? and it's almost like you got a promotion, you know. But the thing about it is, you're right. You don't have time to hang out with friends anymore. You don't have time to like chill with people in Discord, right? You don't have time to just like play games, right? When you're not working. And it's almost like you just have to accept that it's like a trade off where the people who care about you, right, like your real friends, will understand and they'll never be like, oh, dude, you're no fun. You never hang out with us anymore. It's like, no, they'll get it. They'll get it. And they'll always be there. I have friends, chat, genuinely. I won't talk to them for fucking a month. And then I'll hit them up one day. I'll be like, yo, want to go to the gym tomorrow? They'll be like, yeah, sure. And we'll talk as if nothing happened, right? And those are like the real friends. Like the ones that don't need that constant like daily validation. Tinder can boost your ego, but it can also be a detriment to people who don't get matches mentally. So this is a problem with Tinder. The problem with Tinder is this. If you're an average girl, it's gonna boost your ego insane. If you're an average guy, you're gonna think, what is wrong with me? My brother had a friend when he was 18, and this guy was like average. Average body, average looks. You know, he had glasses, a bit of acne, but he was like average, right? Average guy. He sat there, he was on Tinder for like 2 months. He got 8 matches, 7 of them were bots, and one of them was 600 pounds. I'm being serious. It's like, I remember he was talking to my brother and he's just like, dude, like, what the fuck is wrong with me, you know? And it's one of those things where it's like, there isn't anything wrong with you. You just have to understand that. I'll show you guys what the problem with Tinder is. Every guy, what's up, Tarzan? Every guy is willing to sleep with a girl that's below his level of attractiveness physically, right? So imagine we put people on like a number rating, right? And we sit there and it's like there's a 10, a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So we put people on like a number rating, right? And this is like guys, and then this is, or no, we'll do this. And this is men, and then this is women. Okay. It's almost like a guy who's a 10, if he's on Tinder, he's probably just looking to fuck, right? So he'll be like, all right, you know what? I'll match with a girl who's a 10. I'll also match with a girl who's a 9. And you know what? Maybe an 8. And if I'm feeling really horny, I might even do a 7, right? And then the guy who's a 9, right? It's like he'll say, you know what? Yeah, I want the girl who's a 10. I want the girl who's a 9. I want the girl who's an 8. I want the girl who's a 7. I want a girl who's a 6. And then maybe even then, I'll go after a girl who's a 5, right? And then you're going to have, like, let's say there's going to be, for example, a girl who's like, I don't know, a 6, right? And she's going to say, oh, well, if the guy who's a 9 wants to sleep with me, why would I ever go after the guy who's a 6? So then it's like this guy who's a 6, who does he have to match with? The one who's a 3, right? And that's what happens, and that's like what Tinder is. Because guys are naturally more horny. Essentially, they fuck the dating market for themselves. It's funny but kind of true. It's 100% true, right? It's 100% true. And that's the issue with it, is that you'll sit there and you'll be a guy and you'll say, what's wrong with me? But it's like, there's nothing wrong with you, bro. Literally nothing. It's just the fact that Tinder is an app that works literally solely off superficial appearances. And if there's a person who's like looks better, then obviously they're gonna get more matches, right? Like, I'll tell you guys right now, if you were to make like a fake catfish Tinder account, what I did once, right? Because I was curious, I was like, who is my competition? I made a Tinder account, right? As a girl in game. And I make a fake profile and I was like scrolling through and I was saying, okay, what is my competition as a man for who I'm competing with? And what if I told you every guy that was there, they're all 6-pack, fucking shredded, dude, chiseled jaw, like all this shit. And it's like, imagine I'm there, right? And I'm like 18 and I was lifting for 1 year and I was like, dude, how the fuck can I compete with these guys? Like, how the fuck could I? You know what I mean? So then when I just like realized, I was like, yeah, this shit is like really fucking cancer. And that's just like the thing about it. It's like once you realize that the competition is like insane, it's whatever. Looks don't matter, lols. Yeah, I don't know. People say that. Guys, listen, I'll tell you guys the analogy, okay? So when it comes to like looks and personality, right? The vast majority of the time, you need to view it like an ice cream, okay? Your looks are like the ice cream, and then your personality is like the sprinkles, right? If the ice cream is like really fucking shit, it doesn't matter how good the sprinkles are, people just won't want to eat it, right? And maybe it's like later on in life that's gonna change, right? When people look to like settle down, or like if people have had past bad relationships and like, you know what, I just want a nice person for once, right? So it's like, yeah, maybe they're willing to like capitalize on looks for a person who like will treat them better, right? But that's like very rare, right? And that's just like the thing about it. Like unironically, that's just the thing about it. Did you just come back to the 80% to 20% traction? Yeah, because essentially what it is I think the statistic is like 80% of women are attracted to like the top 20% of guys, and those are like the only ones they're gonna swipe on when it comes to like Tinder. Personality and self-confidence is key, Giga Chad. Okay, so this is the reason why I think that is one of the most harmful things. Or not harmful necessarily, but if you've ever told someone that they should work on themselves to find a partner, or if you've ever been told by someone that, oh, dude, you just need to work on yourself. That's why girls don't want you. That person was a piece of shit, and they're a liar, and they're gaslighting you into thinking that you're a bad person when you're not, and you're completely normal. And I think that's one of the worst things that people are told nowadays, and it's awful. You're gonna have a guy. I remember having this guy, right, chat? He was in my school. He was 5'1" at 18, and he was getting no girls, obviously. One of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life, genuinely. And one day, I hear someone say, like, dude, it's about confidence. Like, you just gotta be more confident. You just gotta, like, work on your personality, bro. And it's like, go fuck yourself for telling him that. There is nothing wrong with this guy apart from the fact that just because he's 5'1", girls don't want to date him. Sitting there and making young men especially think that there's something wrong with them when there's literally nothing wrong with them is the worst thing that society is doing, literally. Like, oh, just work on yourself, bro. It's like, no, you aren't the problem. That's why it's just one of those things where it's like a lot of the time it's not your personality that's the issue, right? If you're average, right? If you're average, could being more outgoing help? Yes, right? If you're really attractive, I don't know, then could having a better person help? Sometimes, yeah, right? So it's one of those things where, yeah, but if you're getting like denied literally just because of something superficial, because of your looks, it's like, bro, it's not a you problem. It's just like how society is. Like my dad had a cousin who was unironically a burn victim. I'm being serious. When he was 5 years old, he died recently of lung cancer. I think like 3 months ago. And when this guy was, I think, like, not three, I think it was like 5 or 6, he was playing with matches and his pajamas caught on fire in game, right? And it literally seared the entirety of like his face and like his body, right? My dad used to tell me stories about how when he was growing up, right? Girls used to look at him and they would just give him a look, right? Like almost of disgust. And imagine a guy like that is like told one day, like, nah, dude, just work on your personality, bro. It's like, it's not the problem. So never view yourself as a problem. And that's why the healthiest mentality that you can possibly adopt is like, if it's not your personality that's the problem, then sit there and say, fuck people who don't want you for your personality, right? Fuck people who don't want you just because like you might have like some kind of thing that makes you less attractive to them, and then just focus on yourself and focus on your own grind. And then one day when they want you, and then you know that these people only want you because of the way you look, then you can look them in the eye and say, go fuck yourself. And you can leave them on red and you can say, you know what, thanks for the offer, I'll fucking pass, right? And unironically, that's like one of the greatest gifts that I'm afforded nowadays, is because I remember I used to be there, right? And I used to be fucking fat, right? I used to be fat. You guys think I got any attention when I used to look like this? And one of like my favorite things that I do is if a girl's gonna sit there and she's gonna be like, hey, right? And it's like I know this is someone who just like goes around from like shimmer to shimmer from person to person just based off they look. The best thing that I do is I just give them no attention. Literally. No attention. I don't interact with them, I don't bother with them. I don't go out of my way to talk to them. And then just doing that, it's like it's good, Like it's a good mental cleansing in a way. Make the girl pay and then pocket the change. So that's what my brother did one time. One time my brother, he goes out on a date with this girl, right? And he sits there and he fucking he looks at her, right? And she pays for the date and they go to the motel. She pays for the motel. And then when the clerk starts handing back the change, he fucking pockets it, you know? Because why not? He just said, fuck it, I'll pocket the change. And it was what it was, you know? If a girl is interested, she would be down for anything, even McDonald's. Well, see, like, that's like my problem, is that I would unironically rather go on a fun date with a girl than just sleep with one. Like, that would give me more enjoyment as a person, right? It's sad you gotta focus on your own girls. But see, the thing about it is, like, eventually you'll get to a point in your life where when a girl will say something that will either disappoint you or make you feel like, wow, I can't date you anymore. Instead of being sad, you'll be happy. I'll give you guys an example. There was this one time I was talking to a girl for, how long was it? A month. And she sat there and she was telling me everything I wanted to hear. Everything. Everything you as a man would ever want a girl to hear, she was telling me it, right? And then what happens is one day, my friend tells me, he's like, everything she told you, she told me the exact same thing. And he told me that, and I started laughing. And in that moment, I just felt happiness because I was like, thank God this person did something cancer so that now I will never have to interact with them again and I can just focus on my own goals and myself. Literally. You will get to a point where it's like you're almost praying that they do something cringe or cancer so that it gives you a reason to just focus back on your shit again. Because, like, you as a guy, you can dedicate your effort in one of a few ways. One of them is you can dedicate it towards your grind and your passions and your goals. And then the other one is you dedicate it towards, like, chasing girls, right? And unfortunately, in the world we live in nowadays, most guys focus on chasing girls, right? Which is why so many are sad and so many are, like, depressed. Because they're sitting there and they're putting all their stock and all their worth in another person who most of the time is just gaming them, right? So it's like, why do you even bother? At Dude Purple, you're just not ready for a relationship if you feel like that, to be honest? Exactly. Yes, exactly. I 100% agree with you. And that's like the realization I came to recently as well. It's like, I don't want a relationship. I'm not ready for one, right? With the stage I'm at in my career, with like streaming and everything, it's like I need to just focus on myself. I need to just focus on my grind. I need to just focus on what's best for my stream. I don't have time to invest in a person, think about what's the best interest for like this person, because it's almost like you're too preoccupied with yourself, you know? And someone put all their energy in seeking validation. Well, see, that's the problem with most guys nowadays. Everybody is seeking validation, it's just the way it manifests that's different. So, some people like download Tinder and they'll get matches and that'll give them validation, then they delete it. Some people will go and like they'll sleep with random girls and that's what gives them validation. And there are some guys who it's like they'll go and they'll post on social media apps, get a lot of likes, that gives them validation. And others will just like focus on their goals and stuff. Alright, chat. What if we did the packing? Chat, type 1 if you guys are ready to choose what clothes I pack for Quebec City. Alright, who's ready? Chat, you guys have the most important goal, or the most important job right now. It's about saying yes or no. So the thing is, we do have like a laundry and a washing, like a washing and a dryer. So we don't actually need to pack a lot of shit if that makes sense. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, so let's start. Okay, first thing. These Adidas or fucking Puma or whatever the fuck track pants. Yes or no, chat? Yes or no? Yes. What if I tell you it's a maybe angle? Okay. Okay, so these are also Adidas sweatpants. And they're honestly not that different. Yes or no? No. Only take one? Well, that's the thing, dude. I have like 20 of them. This tank top, hold on. So, like an actual tank top. Yes or no? Yes. Yes. Don't forget condoms. Bro, the only thing I'm gonna be fucking is the US server. I'm gonna be honest with you when I say that. You're not gonna be fucking Lulu? I mean, even if I did, no cancer, I don't think condoms would help. Okay, in game. Okay, next one. The don't kill my pump stringer. Yes or no? Yes, yes, yes. Wait, why did a few people say no? Some haters. Alright, fine, we'll bring it. Okay, so we have the black tank top, we have the yellow stringer. Okay, that's not too shabby, it's not too shabby in the slightest. Another stringer, and this one's the side wear black stringer. No, it's a no from me. What? How long is your trip? It's gonna be like 25 days, I think, something like that. Wait, you tell me it's a no? Are you serious? Okay, a pair of shorts for a little leg day. Yes or no? A little pair of shorts. Yes? Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, a pair of sweatpants, but not of like the like sheen material, more of like some sturdy material. Yes or no? Yes, yes, yes. What am I packing for? Quebec City. Another pair of shorts, but this time my beige compression shorts with the white undershort. So now you might say, what the fuck is a white undershort? It's like it's shorts, but it's like there's shorts inside of shorts. So it's like it's double shorts. So it makes you feel like you're fucking, I don't know. Oh, hell nah. It's like underwear. No. Is that a cum stain? No! What? It's, bro, unless I'm a fucking fire hose. Like, no, dude. It's just the color of it. What? Are you taking any plushies? I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been considering it. Because the thing is, when I sleep, I need something to hold under my arm so that I feel like comfortable, right? Because from the time I was young, I've always like slept with a stuffed animal under my arm. And it's almost like if I don't have a stuffed animal, then there's nothing under my arm that I could hold, which would make me feel like really uncomfortable and weird. Okay, another pair of gray sweatpants. Yes or no? What are the collar shirts for the high-end clubs? Well, the only clubs in Quebec City are all ran by like drug dealers and the mafia. So I don't think I'm gonna go to any clubs. I'm gonna be honest with you. Alright, and last but not least, my camouflage pair of pants that I don't know why I have, but it's like kind of booming. What the fuck? So it's either 100% no or yes. Okay, whatever. I'll just put it anyways. Alright, we're chilling. How long am I going for? I'm gonna be going for like 4 weeks to Quebec cities. The plushies, no. Oh, true. Fuck. How do I explain it? So with the plushie situation, it's kind of a weird one. So we have a few options for what we could do. Okay. The thing is, a plushie doesn't need to go in the suitcase, right? It doesn't need to go in the suitcase because like I could just put it in the back. So we have a few options. Okay. And what if I tell you of the three main options? We could either have one, the dog. Okay. So like this is the main. These are like the main three that I sleep with every night, right? So how do I explain it to you? It's like we either do the dog, right? We do the cheetah, or we do the panda with the bow tie. But the thing is, the panda with the bow tie isn't big enough. Do you know what I mean? It's like I couldn't really like wrap my arm around it. Does that make sense? Cheetah? But you tell me it's a cheetah angle? But you guys want to know what the cancer thing is? I am a full grown 20-year-old man, and the reason why I'm scared of bringing the cheetah is because then the dog might get jealous and sad that he wasn't taken. Type 1 if you know exactly where I am mentally and if you've ever been there before. I'm being serious. I'm being serious. Like, I'm not trolling. It's like I know what you mean. I'm a 20-year-old man as well. Yep, I know. You know, I remember every morning I would wake up. What if I brought both? Nah, I can't bring both. Every morning I would wake up, and it's like when I would go to sleep up until I was like 15. No bullshit. I would have all my stuffed animals in the corner of a room, and I would cycle 3 stuffed animals every night, which were the ones I would sleep with, so like the other ones wouldn't get jealous. I'm not kidding. It's like you are 20. Yeah, but the reason I sleep with stuffed animals nowadays It's because, like, how do I explain it to you? So when I used to live on a boat, right, when I was younger, every night I would sleep with my brother. Like, we slept in the same room, right? And it's like you get used to sleeping with like someone under your arm, right? So then what happened was when I came back to like live in Quebec, it's almost like I still I still kept that like urge of like sleeping with something under my arm, right? So then I would have like the cheetah or like the dog under my arm, you know what I mean? And the thing is now I unironically cannot sleep well if I don't. Do you know what I mean? Like if I don't have something under my arm, I can't sleep well. You have your wait, chat. Type 1 if you guys want to see the stuffed animal that I've unironically brought with me on like 90% of like the places I've went to. Okay. What if I tell you guys that's like it's like some of you won't know what I mean, but it's like maybe with time you will. I'm being serious. It's like his name is Froggy and I would always make him do like dances. Do you know what I mean? Take him? Yeah, but he's not big enough. That's the problem. Why did you name him that? You're asking me why I named this stuffed animal Froggy. Yeah, I don't know. I should named him Hippo Man. You know what I mean? Like, what could I ever even tell you? Froggy's tongue is making me feel a certain way low key. Wait, could I like? Okay. In game.